guys can see my screen, we'll get started. So today is day 2 of the Puzzalathon, and we're gonna do a couple of things. First off, we're gonna go over a little warm-up, and then a second, we will do the competition that I spoke about yesterday. And the rewards have actually been announced. I don't know if you guys heard the awards or not already, but they have been announced, or decided on rather. So we're gonna get started with the warm-up first, and then when I get to the competition section, I'll tell you guys how it'll go down. Okay, so we're doing warm-up and competition. All right, so let's do a basic warm-up. We're gonna review some of the questions, and we're gonna review some similar style questions from the ones that we did yesterday. We're gonna just go over 5, and then we'll head into the competition. All right. Also want you guys, once you come up with the answer to these, I will select one of you guys to annotate your answer and like sort of annotate on the slide how you did. So just be ready for that. All right, so we'll start off with the first question, warm-up question. Okay, I'll give you guys 1.5 minutes to think about it, and then I'll ask you to put your answers in chat. You can directly message me. That's okay. Just put your answers in chat once you're done. Okay. I'll wait on Rithu to put his answer in the chat, and then we'll move on. Okay. All right. So let's see. Azim, you put your answer first. So I think you're pretty confident in knowing how to do it. So can you please annotate the screen and sort of explain how you came up with that answer? Oh, that is very hard to see. You wrote average, right? Okay, yeah. Euro average. So yeah, that is correct. So what he's saying is that, and I'm assume you all know that the two numbers outside the middle bubble are being added together and then divided by 2, which is another way of saying that you're taking the average of the two numbers. It's a pretty easy question. Again, the main strategy for these number puzzles is just to find the correlation. So this one was pretty easy because you can see that the middle number is quite evenly defined between the two other numbers. So it would be an average. So we'll move on to the next question of our warm-up. Okay, this is a pattern question. So let's see if you guys can get this. Oh yeah, by the way, you can take down your annotations that you did. Okay, we have some differing answers here. Interesting. Nope, someone left. That's okay. So, let's see. Oh, you changed your answer? Okay. Prithu, since you changed your answer, can you explain why you changed your answer using the annotations and sort of explain how you did it? It's kind of difficult to annotate the whole explanation, but just put it in chat if you want to. Prithu, are you gonna explain your answer, or you're typing it, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right on the part that B and C look similar, but the correct answer would be, I see what you're trying to think of, but generally the rule here is that you got down is that for each, let me just annotate, for each of these outer edges that are being removed, added each time, there's a piece of the inner hexagon that gets removed counterclockwise this way. So each outer side of the hexagon that you get is getting added clockwise. The inner hexagon is slowly being deleted the other way. So that's why B is the actually correct answer. And you guys will all be right, because as you can see, B is missing that segment while another outer segment is added. So yes, that is a correct answer. So I'll be removing my annotations. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, this is a time question similar to the one that we did yesterday. So it's gonna require a bit of math, so I'll give you guys a little bit more time if you guys wanna take more time. It is 2 parts, so yeah, it'll take probably a couple minutes. Okay, we have 2 answers for part A. Waiting on Azim to put his answer for part A, and then Azim, do you need more time for part A?
I'm submitting them both.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I'm going to submit them both.
Oh, okay. No worries. It also goes for the others as well. You guys should also submit part B if you're done with part A, or if you're still working on it, I'll give you more time. Prithu and Neha, do you guys need more time? Almost done? Okay. Okay, I'll give you guys like 45 seconds. Should be enough. No, I'll just give you guys one. Okay, you guys all got the same answer. So let's see. Azim and Prithu have already presented before, so Neha, it is your turn. So if you would like to annotate, that's faster because explaining the math is kind of wordy, so annotating's faster. So just annotate in a relatively bright color, I guess. Okay, 60 minutes. Okay, now you can explain part B. That'll take a little while. So while you're annotating that, I'll just go over part A. But it's pretty simple. You guys shouldn't have too many questions. So generally, this is a correct method. You multiply the amount of minutes, in this case, just 1 hour, by 25, and you get the amount of seconds or minutes that you need to add. This personally, I just, what's it called? I took 60 seconds in a minute, then I added 25 to it, and then it just happened to be 85. And I knew that since it's only 1 hour, you'd be dividing and multiplying by 60, so it wouldn't matter. So 85 seconds and 85 minutes, it would still come out the same. That was my way of solving it. It's a little bit faster, but it doesn't really apply to any other question, because this is a 1 hour time frame, because you're only multiplying and dividing by 60 at the end of both. So it'll come out to be the same thing. Confusing, so it doesn't really matter, but your method is correct, so it's fine. Yep, 555 minutes. Yep, that's the right amount of seconds. Yep, that is correct. So yeah, what Neha did for part B is correct. You just find the amount of time between the start and the time for soccer practice, and then you multiply that by 25, convert it to minutes, and you just add. Also, assume you guys have access to calculators, which is great because believe it or not, when I was tutoring, a lot of people assumed they had to do the math by hand, which was absurd because, you know, these types of questions are having very large numbers. So I'm glad you guys are using calculators. I assume that you are. Anyways, you can remove your annotations and we'll move on to the next question. Oh, there we go. All right, so this is a pretty easy question. You guys shouldn't take too long to solve this. I made it easier so we don't spend as much time on it and we can get to the competition as fast as possible. Okay, again, just put your answers in chat. This one's pretty like, yeah, no, use calculators because these questions, they're pretty hard to do without calculators, or at least really tedious, because if you divide by hand, multiply by hand, it's really annoying. So, and plus, you guys are in middle school, and I think most of you have done Algebra 1 already. So, when you take the, oh yeah, how many of you guys are, no, I don't know if that's just a New York State thing, but when I took the Regents, I had to use a calculator for Algebra 2. It's required, so just know how to use one. I don't know if you guys have Regents in your states, but generally you should know how to use either a regular calculator or a TI-84. Those ones are pretty good, so I recommend knowing how to get the functions of that around. Okay, we already have an answer. That's pretty fast. Okay, you all came up with an answer. I will note, this is annoying, but it's something that you have to watch out for in math a lot of times, unfortunately, is that keep in mind the units that I'm asking for. It's in minutes, not hours. It is annoying, but in math, they're gonna have to ask you to convert to units that they want. So just a little note. Otherwise, you guys got it right. Obviously, it's just basic addition and subtraction. 850 plus 5, it's gonna be 855, and 11 minus 10, it's gonna be 1050. Then you get the times, just gonna be an hour and, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Oh, 2 hours minus 5 minutes, sorry. And that would be 115 minutes. I want to ask you guys to annotate that because it's really easy. And our last warm-up question, a little bit harder, but I believe you guys can get it. This one's mostly the wording. I assume most of you know what time I mean by when I say the day starts, not at sunrise. Again, just put your answers in chat when done, and then I'll call on one of you to annotate your answer or your explanation rather, or both. Okay, 2 hours. That's the answer. Neha, do you need more time, or you're almost done, or you're not sure? And do you want me to explain it, or do you want more time? Okay. So Azim, you answered first as always, because you're pretty fast. So I'll let you show how it's done. Please annotate the, yep, there we go. Please don't do black, it's way too hard to see. There we go, yeah, that's good. No, you're using my type of method, okay. Well, I'm just assuming that is correct. So I'll note that this is the correct way to do it, and we did it pretty fast, which is good. I want you guys to I don't know if this is too much to ask, but the way I stumbled upon this problem at first, when I saw this type of problem at first, was I visualized this entire thing in my head as fast as I could, which I recommend you guys try to do because it'll make you faster for the competition. That's one thing, and it'll also enhance your ability to actually visualize like different complexes for other different types of problems. So I recommend you guys try to develop the skill of visualizing something in your head and a simple kind of like diagram like this, or sort of broken down structure. So like it's in sections, so it's easier to understand. This is just 4.5, that's just 1, and it makes it easier to solve it really fast. So try to get this visualization thing down to like maybe a couple seconds that you can do it in your head, because this format of a problem is you're going to be seeing pretty often, so you're going to get pretty fast at it. And yeah, that's mostly it for the warm-up section. Now I will be noting one thing on this next slide. Oh, this next slide. Oh yeah, you can erase your annotations, but see, these puzzles that I didn't show you guys yesterday, they're called spatial reasoning puzzles. They basically define or measure the way that you can look at a 3D object and actually comprehend it fully to its full extent. As we are 3D beings, so obviously we have a lot of experience with the 3D world, so it's only reasonable that I test you on this. I didn't teach it to you yesterday because, again, there's not enough time, and also because spatial visualization is a very hard thing to teach. It's not necessarily a formula or a concept that you can drill into someone's head. It mostly goes by a case-by-case basis. As you can see in these two problems, I can't really, give you a set way to do it. You're just gonna have to visualize it the best way you can in your head in the 3D space. So my best, you're gonna see two of these similar questions and the competition at the very end. So just try your best to do know what you think. Oh, Azim, it's fine. You don't have to answer these. I'm just explaining what these are. So as I was saying, you're gonna be seeing these types of questions at the very end, and they will take account into your score for the competition. And with that noted, just be prepared, because I want to test your ability for spatial reasoning not only, but also your ability to do a problem that I haven't taught you before. So let's see how it goes. So next up, we're going to be going into the competition section. So this is how it's going to work. There is 18 questions. Is the second one from the top? What was that? What was that question, Azim? Is the second one from the top? You have to leave at 3? Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah. The second question is asking you to view it from the top. I don't know why they didn't put that there, but you'll see a question just like it at the very end. Well, no, not just like it. I'll explain it, but yeah. This second example at the bottom is asking you to view it from the top, and I'm guessing it's pretty easy to do. The answer would be A for that one. So, no mind. We're gonna start the competition now. Although I don't know about Prithu because he has to leave at 3. That's interesting. So, okay, you know what? We'll just get started. So, as I was saying, the competition, it's gonna have 17 questions, and I made an odd number because I thought if 2 people show up, then we could split. We would obviously wouldn't have a tie. So yeah, there's gonna be 17 questions. And there's gonna be 9 questions of numbers and patterns combined. 9 total questions of numbers and patterns. There's gonna be 5 questions of time problems, time word problems, and then the 2 spatial reasoning questions that I just went over. So what you guys will have to do is 1, answer right and answer fast. So if you all get it right, then okay, well, I'll look at who answered first, and then based on that, I will give you guys a point for the question. And remember, I'm not going to be recording the points. You guys will be responsible for your own points because, you know, it's your points. So just remember to record your points somewhere. Do it in chat, do it on a piece of paper, but, you know, just be mindful of your points and also try the best you can to answer these questions. And the reward I will reveal right now, it's going to be the first place winner, the one who has the most points, will be getting an $25 Amazon gift card. And the second place winner will be getting a $10 Amazon gift card. So yeah, that's how it's going to work. So again, I'm basing it on not only speed, but who gets it right. So if you answer first but get it wrong, then I'll consider the second person who answered, and then the third person, fourth person, but we don't have that many people, so it's fine. So yeah, that's how the competition is going to work. So yeah, you guys got the rules down. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready to start, because we're going to be going into the first question on the next slide. I don't know about pre-through though, because you have to leave at 3. Okay. Just stay as long as you can, and I'll ask actually, yeah, just stay as long as you can, answer as many questions as you can, and yeah, we'll see how it goes, how many points you get. But yeah, I'll think about what to do after the meeting ends. Oh, by the way, you guys have to do the homework that I sent yesterday, because that is the way you'll be getting your money. And that's a requirement that you participate in the program. So that's how you'll be getting your money. So if you guys did the homework from yesterday, I'll send the link to that now, just in case you didn't. So as you guys see, it just has a few questions. Well, it's not going to load now because my computer's kind of slow, but it just has 6 questions. Just answer those, and then you'll be free to submit. And I need this form so I can actually, you know, email you guys the gift card. So yes, that's also a participation thing. So just fill out that form. I sent it in chat right now, and we'll otherwise be heading into the competition. So you guys, I've told you guys the rules. If you guys have any questions, speak up now, because we're going to be starting. So I'll give you guys 30 seconds to, I guess, ask any question. If not, we'll be going ahead and starting this competition. Okay, it looks like none of you guys has questions. All right, so put all your answers in chat, or if you want to, you can, you know, unmute, because speaking is faster than typing. So just saying. So again, speed and correctness, if that's a word. We'll start now. So I'll start in 3, 2, and 1. That's question 1. All right, come on, let's go. Let's see who gets this right first. I'll be looking at chat, and I'll be looking at anyone who unmutes and says it if they want to. Okay, we have an answer already. So the answer actually is correct. So I'll be giving the point to Neha. That is 1 point for you. So if you want to just quickly explain how you got it, you know, do the annotate, the whole thing. I'll only ask you guys to annotate for the number and pattern process, by the way, because these ones are simple compared to the other ones. Yep, add 4, that's right. Yep, add 6, add 8. Oh, someone joined? Priya A. Priya, were you here yesterday for the first day of Puzzleathon? Please put it in chat or speak. Oh, left. It's okay. So, Neha, you got the explanation right and the answer right as well. And you also answered first. So I'll be giving you the point for this question. So that is 1 point for Neha. And you are one step closer to getting that first place. So the basic pattern here is that each row is increasing the amount of change that you're getting. This is also a concept you'll start to learn in pre-calculus. It's a pretty interesting concept that you'll see. You guys took algebra 1, so you know what slope is, and the basic definition of slope is just the change of y as the change of x. So you in calculus, you guys will be learning the change of the slope, which is the change of y of the change in x. And this question right here is actually a great example of that. I won't explain it now, but I'll go back to it if you guys want me to explain that, because it is a pretty complicated subject. So other than that, that's the first question down. Okay, Neha, please delete your annotations so we can move on to the next question. Okay, thank you. All right, next question. Be ready. In 3, 2, 1, and go. This one should be pretty easy. Okay, we already have an answer. Is that your final answer, people? We still have time to change your answer up before another one answers. Okay, we have 1. Okay, Aazan, do you have an answer?
3.
You said 3? Okay. I'll note that for this question, you guys didn't get it right, unfortunately. So I'll just shortly explain why. So this one also took me a bit of time to figure out, but so let's go over what's happening here. So we have 2 shaded regions. Oops, that is the worst line ever drawn. We have 2 shaded regions, and what we'll notice is that we'll try to find out the correlation between the non-shaded and what is shaded, because just from looking at those 2 different areas, I feel like that the shaded and the non-shaded must have some correlation in order for us to figure out the last numbers. So we have when we add these numbers up, we get a sum of 7. Let's add the other numbers up. Actually, no, let's focus on the first hexagon for now. But what you'll notice is that if you do the same for the non-shaded regions, we have 7 here and also 7 here. So what we'll notice is that we have these 2 7s, and if you add those together, you'll get 14 as a total. And then, okay, so we have 7 and 14. There's quite a few correlations between those 2 numbers. So we'll go to the next hexagon and look at what that does. So we add 7 and 1. We have 8. Then we add the non-shaded regions. We have 7, 2. Well, we have 7 and 3. Those are easy. That's a 10. And then you add these 2 and 4. That'll be a 6. So that'll be a 16. You guys are pretty smart, so I think you can already see the pattern that's starting to form, which is the fact that the non-shaded regions add up to a number that is directly or exactly half of the non-shaded regions. And that goes for this one as well, which confirms the theory. So generally the rule with number puzzles that if you find the pattern that is present with anything that present with rather everything except the area of the missing number, obviously, because you can't figure it out from that, then it's generally a pattern that you should be going for, which in this case it is. And if you notice here, we'll add up the non-shaded regions. We have 5 and 4, that's a 9. We add 9 and 2, that's 11. And 11 and 1, that is a 12. So if we want the pattern to stay consistent, then we would put a 2 here to make 4 and 2, added a 6 to go with the pattern of it being half of the non-shaded region. So 2 is actually the answer for this puzzle. So unfortunately, none of you guys got it right, so I can't, award points to any of you. So that's a fine. This is a pretty confusing question that I found myself, so we'll just move on to the next one. Let's see if you guys can get that one. So I'll be starting the next question. So be prepared in 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Oh, you guys have literally said it at the same time. Neha put it in chat as soon as you said it. Okay. Well, you guys both got it right. And that's one thing. So, let's see. How do we tie break this? Okay, you know what? That's okay. I'll give you both the point, and then we'll move on to the next one. But yeah, I'll ask let's see, Neha, you can explain since I think Azim did it last time. Oh wait, no, you did it last time. Okay, Azim, you can explain your answer. You can annotate or speak, or I will note that this one is pretty simple. So basically, got it down immediately. And so he got the pattern right. So what's happening here is that obviously, as Azim notated, that these pieces are each going to a specific spot. 4 will always go on the bottom left. 2 will always go on the top left. 3 will always go on the top right. And 1 will always go on the bottom right. So with that, you can easily just look at this sequence and then figure out that the second one would go on the top left. So that's what you should be looking for as an identifying. And we can see that only A and C have the box with the line at the bottom for their top left. So we can narrow it down to them. And then we look at the box next to that or below that. Well, they both have the same box next to it. So we'll look at the one below and we can clearly see that A is the right option because it has the 4th box below the 2nd box. So that is why this is A. I will award you both the point for now because you guys quite literally said it at the same time. So, oh well, let's just move on and see how many points you guys both end up with. And then we can do a tiebreaker question if we need to. So that is question number 4. Oh, well, I didn't give a countdown, but still, go at it now. This one I will note is a bit harder. So, and keep in mind, it's also asking 2 things. So I want you guys to put both of that in the chat.
B.
Oh wait, can you also say which tile is incorrect?
B number 8.
Okay, that is the correct answer. So Azim, you get the point for this one. So may you please explain how you did it? That's good. I'm actually surprised you found that route because I was looking at this puzzle and trying to, yeah, I found out that part first. That was the easiest to look at. But yeah, you got it right. So basically, if you read the question, it says that if you look at the rows and columns, that the first 2 tiles of those rows and columns would combine to produce a 3rd one, and that like symbols cancel out. So obviously, we just look at each row and column, see which see which ones have the correct result at each of the end. So the key is to look at these tiles right here because those are all the tiles that end of rows and columns. And that's what I did. So I would look at these tiles first and see if they lined up with the points that came from the first 2 tiles, and through that, Azim clearly found this pathway. Not only that one, but also this pathway. That this dot should not be here because this cancels it out. The fact that these 2 are in the same spot, so it should be canceled out. And the fact that these 2 are there, but they don't cancel out here. So that obviously means tile 8 is incorrect. And to do that, you would just cancel the dot out because that's what needs to be done, which would be answer choice B. So the point goes to Azim for this one. And now we will move on to the next question, this time with the countdown. I'll just clear my annotations. Yeah. So we're moving on to the next question in 3, 2, and 1. Oh, there we go. Again, just speak or chat, whatever you guys prefer. Or whatever you're faster at, I guess.
H.
Okay. That happens to be the correct answer. Nazim, you're pretty good. So, can you explain how you got it?
Basically, each one, all the other ones, they have one shape, and then another shape out of it, and then the same shape again.
That's
But
right.
this one has the first one, and then these two are the same.
That's right. So you got the pattern on pretty quickly, which is impressive. So yeah, basically what he said is just that the pattern here is that the first shape has to be the same as the middle one, and you'll notice that it's consistent for every single option except for H, where instead of a trapezoid, it would be a triangle in the middle, which is why it's the odd one out. So that's why this one is right, as he explained. So that is another point for Azim. Okay, remember to keep track of your points, guys. And with that, we'll be moving on to the next question. And also, if we finish early, I'm gonna add a bonus Q&A section just for me, not just for you guys, to ask any question you want about high school, college, any other thing at the very end. Just putting that in there, just in case if we finish early. If not, that's fine. We can stay like 5 minutes over time. It's not that much, but let's move on to the next question. I won't waste any more time. And 3, 2, 1, boom. That is the next question, and we'll see what you guys get. It's pretty similar to the question we just did a few minutes ago. Azim, did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You got it right. Wow, you're actually going great today. So, may you please explain for the others how you got the answer?
Basically, these two have this shape in common, and that goes for like the rest of them. So,
Yeah. Yeah, you got it right. So, as he just said, I'll break it down. That the pattern here is that when you look at the first two tiles, this is for the, again, that's why I said this is pretty similar to the question we just did a couple moments ago. So, if you look at the first two tiles, you see what what patterns that they have. So we see, like, for the last row, I mean for the middle row, we'll do the middle row, that this circle is here, and that this entire inner circle is there. This entire inner circle is there, and my touchpad is very bad at drawing, so I'll just leave that, I guess. So we can see that this segment is the only one missing, so obviously that would not be carried over to this one. And same goes for the outer circle. The segment that is being carried is the one in common, as Azim said. And that'll go for the last one, which they have this segment and this segment only in common, which would be the reason why it's F. So with that, we will move on to the next question. Azim, you're doing pretty good today. That is another point for you. So we will move on to question 7 in 3, 2, and 1.
13.
Okay. Oh, Neha, you're so close. Unfortunately, well, can't really say that, but Azim got it from before you. Oh, Preethu has to go. It's okay. So, Azim has been explaining a lot, so Neha, I'll let you explain this one. Just annotate what you did, and then we'll move on. Sum equals 100. Yep, you got it right. So that's the explanation. Azim, you got it first, so I don't need to explain it to you, but yeah. So that is question 7. The point will be going to Azim to this one. Pretty good. And we will move on to the next one shortly. And 3, 2, and 1. All right. This one shouldn't be that hard. Nope. Neha got it first. Wow. Okay, that's come back in the making. So, Neha, please explain how you got your answer. That's actually a pretty good pattern. Now you figured it out. The actual pattern, well, just quickly, did you notice that let me just, did you notice that these two sections actually always end up dividing into 4 for each of them? Or did you just notice that these numbers in the middle were just directly multiplied by 4? Because if you notice the latter, the second one, then that's pretty good because you found a way around the actual pattern that the question was making you look for. So if you found that these two were just directly being multiplied by 4, and you checked that the other one was also being multiplied by 4, and you found that it's the same, then pretty good, because I ended up actually being right. But the actual pattern was that these two sections are supposed to always divide to 4, and then, yeah, you're supposed to multiply this last number by 4, and that would get you 36. So yeah, that is question 8, and this will go, at this point, we'll go to Neha. Let's see if you can make a comeback. I will delete my annotations. Then we'll move on. Next question will be starting in 3, 2, and 1. This one's pretty easy. And this will also be the last question of numbers and puzzles. So next up will be the real challenge, because it's going to involve, math and equations. So we'll see how you guys.
D.
Oh, Azim spoke up. What you said? B?
D.
Oh, you said D. Yeah, you got that right. So would you like to explain?
So basically, first you add one black dot to the right, and then 2 on top, 2 white ones on the right, 1 on the top, and so then it repeats.
You got that right. So as Azim said, you're just going through a sequence, and the sequence requires you to do a couple things. It makes you add black dots in this fashion, 1 to the right, 2 to the top, and then asks you to do white dots in the reverse order, 2 to the top, 2 to the right and 1 on the top, as you can see here. And then nothing's there, so we can assume that the pattern resumes, and we can see that we will add a black dot at the end, and therefore answer D is correct, as Azim explained. So I'll be clearing my annotations. Then we'll move on to the next unofficial section, I guess, because it is going to be only time questions. Well, the next 5 questions are going to be only time questions. So we'll see how you guys fare against those in 3, 2, and 1. Nope. There we go. This one, we're starting off not that bad, so we'll see.
2:54 p.m.
Okay. You said 3:54?
No, 2:54 p.m.
Okay. And Neha, what about you? 4:18? Okay. So, unfortunately, you guys didn't get it right. So, I will be explaining what the solution is, and then we will move on. So, here is what's happened. So her clock was correct at 8 a.m. So, and it kept the correct time for 3 hours. So for those 3 hours, they don't matter, because there's no change happening. But then it started losing an increasing amount of minutes that we can see here for each hour, and we want to know what it says at 5 p.m. So let's first see how much time has actually passed between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., which would be, if I count it right, would be 8 and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, which is the military time for 5. And we can see that it's 9 hours. So, but the first 3 hours, they do not count, because they won't be taken into consideration because it was correct for those 3 hours. So we know that for 6 hours, it is losing an increasing amount of time. So it will be, we'll write out a sequence 4 plus 10 plus 8, and, oh wait, why am I writing 10? That would be 2, no, it's my trackpad, it's bugging out. 2 plus 4 plus 8, and then plus 16, because it's doubling the amount of time it loses every single time. And then we add that up to get the amount of minutes that it's actually has been losing, and that totals to, I believe it totals to 60, no, 126 minutes, right? And then we actually just subtract that amount of minutes from 5 p.m. and then we get 2 hours lost and 12 minutes as well, because it is 126 minutes. Oh wait, yeah, 2 hours lost in 6 minutes. So then it'll be 5 minus 2 and the 126 minutes, and then we will get the answer of 2:54. Oh yeah, Azim, you were right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were right. For some reason, I had it written down wrong in my answer key that I have beside me, but it's okay. Once I worked it out, I saw that you were right, so you'll actually be getting the points for that one. So did you go through the same process that I just described right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you got it right. Apologies for getting mixed up, but the point goes to you for now. And we'll be going on to the next question. What was that? And next question will be starting in 3, 2, and 1. This one's pretty easy. You guys should be able to get it really fast.
28
Yep.
minutes.
Good math. That is right. I don't think I have to explain this one because it's pretty easy. It's just, this one's leaving 5 minutes late, so you add 5 minutes. This one's leaving 7 minutes early, so you subtract 7 minutes. And then you find the difference, and that happens to be 28. Now, again, well, it's not again, but this question is actually going to be a compound question. And that's a term I made up myself, but basically what I mean by that is that the next 2 questions will be based on this question. So when you see that it's referring to the different elements, just try to remember this question and what it says right here. So I'll give you a chance to actually write down all the information from this question because you will need it for the next 2 questions. It won't be, the information won't be repeated. So I'll give you a chance to write down the information. So like what time it's supposed to leave, how late they were, and all that. So just let me know when you're done and I'll move on. Or, I could just take this question and put it in chat. Oops. So I will actually just take this question and put it in chat for future reference so that you guys can refer to it for the next 2 questions. And with that, we'll be moving on to the next question. Again, it's based off of this one, so pay attention to the wording and what it's actually asking. And we'll be going in 3, 2, and 1. In this one, the wording is a bit confusing, so it'll take a bit longer, but I'm confident you guys can get it.
3:15.
And okay, let's work this through.
Okay.
So what we're looking at here is our watch is correctly set just as the bus is leaving, which means that it is correctly set at 9:15. And the watch gains half the amount of time between between the solution. Well, that's what it really is, but the wording says Alex bus departure for each hour. So we know that the time between the bus departure is 28 minutes, we just saw, and we're gaining half that amount of time for each hour. So we're gaining 14 minutes. So what we have to do here is work out for how many hours is she actually gaining this amount of time. So 12:57 p.m. What we can do is just subtract the amount of time from 9:15, and if we do the math correctly, find that it's 45 minutes, and it's also, so you add 9, you get 10:15, 11:15, 12:15, and then you end up with 12:57. So we can see that automatically hours have passed. Let's see. 7 minus 15, you get 42 minutes left over, right? And through that, we can guess if we take the amount of leftover and actually divide it by, oh wait, no. If you add that to the amount of hours that passed, which is 180, and divided by 3. Oh shoot, right. And so when you have this 1257, it's showing that 3 hours has passed because you're adding 14 minutes for each hour, and we can see that 42 divided by 3 is actually 14. So that means that 3 hours have actually passed ever since she departed from her bus. And then what we do with that is we, of course, add that to our time, and we have 3 hours already that has passed, but we also notice that it stopped at that time and it stopped working for 3 hours, which means she's waiting an extra 3 hours. And so that totals up to 6 hours. So we will just count that out. 9, 10, 15, 11, 15, 12, 15, 1, 15, 2, 15, and 3, 15. So that is why 315 is the right answer. And I believe Aazan got it first. Correct me if I'm wrong. Neha, you put it in chat, but actually didn't see if you put it in before or after. Be honest though, did you put it in before or after? Aazan said his answer. Okay, I'll give you a point for this one then. I hope you're being honest. So we'll move on to the next question. This is also based on the root question, the Sarah and Alex question. So we will move on now. And 3, 2, and 1. I'll give you guys some time to figure this out. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that his watch was correct when he was on the bus, when he got on the bus in this question. So just note that. I'll put that in text. Watch was correct when Alex boarded bus. So just note that. I forgot to say that in this question. That's my apology, but let's see what you guys come up with.
43.
Okay, Aazan said the answer. Would you like to explain?
Okay, so basically, since his watch lost 24 minutes per hour, basically 1 hour in the real world is like 36 minutes on his watch. So he got on his bus at 9:43. 12:07 minus 9:43 makes 2 hours and 24 minutes, which equals 144 minutes. If we divide that by 36, we get 4. So he took 4 hours to get there. So 9:43 plus 4 hours and plus 3 hours because of his time zone makes 4:43.
And that is correct. So I'll be giving you the point for that. Nice attention to detail with the time zone. So as Aazan said, he basically did all the explaining. That the watch lost 24 hours each hour. So instead of the regular hour, we would have a 36-minute long hour. And using that, we see how many of those 36-minute long hours passed in the watch time, which we see it's 4 actual hours that passed. And then we add the difference of 3 hours for correcting the time zone. And yeah, that leads us to have a difference of, a result of 7 hours in the future. And we get 443. Okay, I'll just delete the annotations and we can move on to the next question. And okay, by the way, this one is not based on the previous question, so yeah, you can forget about the other ones. So 3, 2, and 1. Pretty easy.
53 and 20 seconds. 53 minutes and 20 seconds.
So Neha, do you have an answer? 15 minutes. Okay, I'll go over it. Just start annotating. So again, using the classic model, that I like to use, we will draw a little timeline for ourselves, starting from 9 p.m., which is our reference point, and going to midnight, which is 12 a.m., our endpoint. And here's our, I'll put that in the middle. Here's our time right now. We want to know this amount of time, the classic, and also we know that it was twice as many of this plus 20 minutes past 9 a.m. So we'll put that down, 2x plus 20, and then we'll write out an equation for the segments of time equivalent to this entire timeline. So I'll do that in text just to make it easier for myself. So we would have 3x plus 20 equals 4 hours. Wait. And 11, 12, 3 hours. I did my math wrong. And this ends up being pretty easy. And then we subtract the, I have to put it in minute format. So 3 hours would actually be 180 on that end instead of 3. So it'd be 180. You can ignore the 3 there. Just cross that out. And then you minus the 20. You get 160. You divide it by 3. And you get a quite interesting number. 3x equals 160. And indeed, you do get 53 minutes. 53 minutes. And a third left over, which would just be 20 seconds, I believe. Third of a minute. And so Aazan earns the point for that one. I believe he said 53 minutes, so he will earn the point. And I'll clear all annotations. And we'll move on to the next question because we're running out of time and can't waste any more. So let's just head to the next question in 3, 2, 1, and go. Kind of similar to the question we did a few minutes ago. So
9:05 a.m.
And almost. Okay, let's see it.
Wait, can I change my answer?
If you get it before Neha.
8:25.
Okay. Yeah. So both of you ended up with the same answer. But Aazan managed to get it first, so I'll just quickly explain it. So we start at 6 a.m. and follow the trend of losing these minutes each hour, increasing amount of time. And we have 5, 10, and then 20, so we can automatically see that the pattern is doubling once again. And so we want to count how many hours are between 6 and 11 a.m., which is 5 hours, which means we have to go through this pattern 5 times. And so we have 5 plus 10 plus 20 plus 40 plus 80, and then we add all those up, and that would equal 155 minutes total have been lost. And so when you get to 11 a.m., you just subtract the total amount of minutes lost, and that will end up being 2 hours and 2 hours and 35 minutes, which will end up being 2 hours behind is going to be 9 o'clock. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it's going to be 9 o'clock. And then you subtract another 35 minutes, and then you get 8:25 a.m. Okay, so that's the answer for this one. That point goes to Aazan. Okay, now the 2 last questions that I told you about, and they're going to be spatial puzzles. So they're going to be a bit different from what we've been doing so far. But I know that you guys can do it. So let's go ahead and get started with the next one in 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, there we go. This one is specifically asking what can be made with this net. If it was folded into a cube, what can be made? Okay, Neha has come up with a D. So may you please explain how you got that? Well, it's kind of hard to explain it using visual representations. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, so Neha basically covered it. So when you look at each of these patterns and you take into account how a cube folds, that well, you don't even need to take into account how it folds. You just need to see what's possible. So obviously, when we have this piece that's going to be at the bottom, everything's going to fold up around it. And so this piece will be at the opposite side of this piece. So obviously that means that these two answers are not correct because they cannot be next to each other. As Neha said, they are on opposite sides of the bottom. And same issue with answer choice A, where we have the square next to the two boxes, which is not possible because this would be the top, and this would this would be the bottom, and this would this orange square would actually be the top because it's 2 spaces away. And the fact that it is 2 spaces away basically defines it as that it cannot be next to that other side. So that's why answer choice D is correct, because even though this is really far away from the 3, this will fold onto the top, and this will fold up onto the side, and this top will be next to the side, and that's why it is correct. The top can basically see all of these pieces except for the bottom. So that is why D is correct. And we'll remove my annotations. And we'll move on to the last question of this competition. This point goes to Neha. And 3, 2, 1. This one is specifically asking which choice will show the correct confirmation of when these two are stuck together. No changes are made except they are put together. No blocks are moved. No components are moved. Okay, and that is correct. And I think Aazan got that one first. So, well, there really isn't an explanation to it. It's just looking at what it'll be conformed to. There we go. So basically, obviously, this choice cannot be possible because when we look at this empty space right here, we see that if it was this piece, this square would be right here, but what would be intervening with that is this square if you try to insert it the way that it's shown. So obviously 2 squares cannot be in one place, so eliminate A. And you can obviously eliminate C because it's nowhere near any of these two. There is no T shape like this, so obviously it cannot be C. And B is the right answer because you can see each piece and see that nothing's removed, nothing's changed, and that's why B is the right answer. And now we will be announcing the winners actually, because there's 2, and it will be first place is Aazan and second place is Neha. I believe Aazan you had like 9 points or 10?
12.
Okay, yeah. You have 12, and Neha, I think you have 7. Is that right? Oh, you have 5. Okay. I miscounted some. It's okay. So, in the end, Aazan will be winning the $25 Amazon gift card if you completed the homework that I sent. And Neha, you'll be winning a $10 gift card if you completed the homework that I sent. And that basically wraps it up with the competition. But we still have 5 minutes left. So first, I would take this time to, if you didn't do it, just do it before today ends, at the very least, so that you'll be on the roster for receiving it. And okay, so now I want to take the time to talk about the fundraiser that we're holding. Obviously, this Puzzalathon, you saw that on Facebook, I believe. I don't know where you saw it, but this Puzzalathon is held to fundraise the organization Drishti, which helps blind people. So please donate to them, or ask your parents to donate to them. A small nominal amount could be $1, $5. Doesn't even have to be. You could just donate $1, and that's it. No matter what you donate, it'll help that organization. So please take the time to donate after this Puzzle-a-thon is done. And now I'll have a little Q&A session about me. Any questions you want to ask me, you can go ahead and ask now. Anything about high school, anything about the future, any questions, you can go ahead and ask, because you guys are in middle school. So if you're curious about how high school is like, what about the first problem in test? Oh, Wait, the first problem and test? What does that mean? Oh, yes. Let's go over the thing that you're talking about. So, with this problem, you notice a trend here, the pattern that it's changes for this one is 2. If you put this in a slope kind of table, like let's say you had x of 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. If you put this, you would have a slope of 2, right? You just have a change of 2. Or if you put this, you have a slope of 4 because you're changing 4 each time. And if you put this, you'd have a change of 6 because you're changing 6 each time. And if you put this, you would have a change of 8, a slope of 8. And the theme here in calculus is this is what's when you have these different types of slopes, you can take what's called a sort of second slope. This is called the average rate of change. That's what a slope is, because you're seeing how y changes with x. And when you see the change of the slopes itself, so like let's say you had for x value 1, you had a y value of 2, right? And then for x value of 2, you had a value of 4. But then you had for x value 3, you had a value of, let's say, and then you had a change of, and then you went to 14, and then you went to 22, I think. Should be right. If you notice the change between this one, the slope is ever increasing, right? Because the changes between these things are getting greater. This one's 2, this one's 4, this one is 6, and this one is 8. So you can see that the slope is not consistent, and that'll be increasing. So it'll look like kind of like this on a graph, if you were to graph it, something like that. So basically what's happening here is that if you take the rate of change of the rate of change of these two, you'll notice that it becomes constant. The difference between this slope and this slope is 2. This is again 2, and this is again 2. So in calculus, you'll learn that this second rate of change is called the first derivative. I'm not sure if you guys have heard derivatives before, but that's basically what it is. And it's pretty interesting that I saw this kind of pattern show up in this puzzle. Even though it's not directly, using that type of pattern, it's still pretty interesting. And you'll learn about this concept in pre-calculus, and in calculus you'll be using it quite frequently. And yeah, that's basically all I wanted to mention about this question. You'll be learning about it later, so it doesn't really matter right now, but if you're interested, I would definitely look into it because you're definitely going to be learning about this later on. So anyways, with that being said, do you guys have any other questions besides that? Anything about high school, anything about the future, you can ask right now. I'll give you all the knowledge that I currently am holding as a high school senior. So if you guys are curious, then you can ask. No questions? Nope? Okay, that's fine. So that will be the end of the Puzzle-a-thon. And thank you for coming. Thank you for giving your time. And of course, remember to do the homework if you want the prize that you earned today with this competition. And I hope you donate. Please remember to donate. Ask your parents to donate, even just $5, $1. Just donate a nominal amount. Really, it doesn't matter. And so, yeah, that's all I have left to say. Thank you for coming, and thank you for participating in this Puzzle-a-thon very actively. And you guys are very smart kids, so I know you'll be okay, or at least the rest of middle school. So just keep doing what you're doing. Remember, keep doing these types of puzzles. They're good for you, believe it or not. Pick up games like Sudoku, do Wordle. Even Wordle is a good one. Pick up different types of games that, activate your brain, stimulate it. So remember that your brain is a sort of muscle. So keep working it, and you'll stay sharp for the rest of your life, basically. No matter how old you get, believe it or not, your brain can still develop new cells. So as long as you activate your brain, keep it stimulated, you'll be sharp for the rest of your life. So that's all I have left to say. You guys are free to go now. And yeah, thank you for coming. Yep, goodbye, guys.
Every teen is unique, right? You have your own wonderful idea to change the world, and we're just here to support that.